We are here today to welcome Bryan John to 맘앤아이TV and 맘앤아이 magazine. Not only is Bryan John the originator of the Korean American Youth Council, he's also the author of a book, I Am the Bryan. We're thrilled to have you here today. What was your life like? What were you like as an elementary school student and a middle school student?
Thank you for the wonderful question. Well, I wanted to be a police officer, I wanted to be a magician. It was all types of creative jobs that I wanted to pursue. But as I really entered into high school and single-handedly faced a racial incident at Bergen Academies, I was able to realize how important it was to really step up for our society and our community.
I'm curious about your family. Are you first generation, second generation? Do you have siblings?
I actually don't have siblings, and I am the first generation.
From the incident, the Board of Education incident where you had gotten 1,500 signatures, what's the timeline? I'm curious, because so much has happened in such a short amount of time.
The Asian American Youth Council was established in 2017, my freshman year, due to a Spanish teacher at Bergen County Academies stating I hate Koreans 6 times in 2 different classrooms. And no one really stood up for that factor. And by bringing that to the Board of Education and by submitting 1,500 signatures to really dismiss the teacher from the Board of Education and teaching itself, we really tried to focus on political activism of the second and third generation Americans and the public diplomacy amongst diasporas. Because as Asian Americans, regardless of who we are, we're still Americans, but we still have that Korean cultural part that we must remember to establish this fully incorporated melting pot. And most importantly, I have done probably more than 3 to 4 internship experiences to really establish this political connection so that our youth council members, so that Asian Americans could feel comfortable reaching out to our fellow politicians to speak up for what is right in our community.
So just a little bit more about the October 21st Hanbok Day.
The Korean Hanbok Day it originated from South Korea, and it was made in 1966 on October 21st. So not only did we have the goal to educate the people in America, but we had a goal to really stand up against the cultural imperialism that we've been facing. It's our politicians and policymakers that make implementation to our daily system, which was why we decided to send out several emails to politicians to really promote and establish October 21st as the first Korean Hanbok Day in the US, which also had the same date as the South Korean Hanbok Day.
So I didn't realize that it was not only in Tenafly, that it was also going to be across the nation.
That's our big goal.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Wow.
And thankfully, Mayor Zena, Mayor of Tenafly, accepted our request, and we were able to hold our first Korean Hanbok Day.
That is so wonderful. So now I'd like to have you just talk a little bit about the book. What was the catalyst to have it written? Did it write itself? And I love the cover.
The cover actually shows the 2 perspectives in life that I lived through. And there has been various miracles in my life that I can't really describe with words. From growing up with a single mother to learning swimming for 10 years. I've been very fortunate. And saving a man's life walking in the streets of Pell Park. And the 3 internship experiences with Assemblyman Johnson, Freeholder Zur, and Senator Booker, it really established me as the person I am today. And they're the ones that recommended that I should actually write an autobiography to look back into my life and to share my story so that others could be inspired and do the same.
In your experience, what has been the most surprising or maybe the most shocking?
Well, of course, the CPR incident had to be the most shocking. There's a lot of CPR certified people in America, but it's really about if you take action or not. And that's about the Asian hate crimes too. There's so many people that record, so many people that say things, and so many people that are angered, but what is realistically happening? During the incident at Palisades Park, while I was walking, there were at least 70 to 120 people making a circle around the man that fell due to a heart attack. But no one was doing anything. It's literally that decision of whether you want to take that step above the line and to really take action for what is right.
So Brian, I understand that you have met the governor, you've met mayors, you've met assemblymen. Who have you met recently that is helping you spread this fantastic work that you've been doing?
What really, I guess, promoted me as a figure was actually the 10 to Fly vigil that was held by Mayor Zinna, or with the support of Mayor Zinna. And through that experience, my speech really reached out to the hearts of many politicians. And recently, I've been reached out by Jack Ciattarelli, and well, Phil Murphy gave me a shout out on his Facebook, which was I'm very grateful for.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our viewers of anything else that we haven't mentioned?
I want everyone to really pay attention to what is happening around the world. Everyone is really trying to take a step to raise their voices, but are things really changing? Are our elders being protected? Are our civilians being protected? Are our voices being heard? You see, there are bills being passed on a weekly basis, but still, so many people are getting publicly urinated on, stabbed, hit, for absolute no reason. And it is our responsibility as second generation and third generation Americans to really protect our elders. They should really take action for what is right and to really save humanity itself. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your invitation, Mom and I. And I feel like Mom and I, social media and media is such a big aspect in our lives, where as second generation and third generation, it's a platform where we could share our ideas and really speak up for ourselves. As we are raising our voices, studios like Mom&i are willing to listen to our voices. And before, I really thought that you had to really single-handedly experience the hate crimes or any type of crimes to speak up for yourself. But now that's not the case. The moment we realize that, it's too late. And in order to prevent this, it's our job. It's our job to utilize the media, whatever we can, to spread the word and to raise the importance of our cultural aspect. Thank you.
Well, we'd like to thank you, of course, for strengthening the Asian youth community and also just community of Asian Americans all over. It's not only about the youth. We're going to be proudly watching you to see what happens next. And 맘앤아이TV and 맘앤아이 magazine, we're very proud to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much.